Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a developer, you know this feeling, right? There's this gap, a huge gap, between just writing code and truly engineering something. Today, we're going to talk about how to cross that gap. And this isn't about learning the next hot framework. Nope, this is about building a rock-solid foundation that's going to carry you through your entire career. Let's dive in. I love this quote because it just nails it. You remember that feeling, your first app finally works and it feels like pure magic. But then someone asks you why it works, and you just freeze. That silence, that feeling, right there, that's the starting line. That's where the journey from coder to engineer really begins. And that moment, well, it often leads right here, to what we call the developer's glass ceiling. It's that invisible wall you hit when the initial fun of coding wears off and the really hard problems start showing up. So does this sound familiar? You've crushed all the tutorials, you can spin up a standard app, no problem, but now you feel kind of stuck. You see the senior engineers and they seem to be operating on a whole other level. But the path to get there, it feels totally invisible. Well, congratulations, you've just hit the developer's glass ceiling. You know, this really lays out two very different futures. On one side, you've got the framework coder. They know the latest tools, sure, but they get completely stuck the second a problem isn't in a tutorial. And on the other side, you got the fundamentals engineer. These are the people who can pick up any new technology with astonishing speed because they get the principles underneath. The difference isn't just time, it's the foundation they're built on. Okay, so how do we build that foundation? How do we smash right through that glass ceiling? It really comes down to two essential pillars of mastery. These are the things that bridge that gap between just knowing stuff and actually doing it. And here they are. That powerful foundation is built on two things: data structures and algorithms, and the bedrock they stand on, discrete mathematics. And let's be really clear about something. This is not about passing a coding interview. This is about becoming a creative, resilient, and truly high-impact engineer. All right, let's dig into the first pillar, data structures and algorithms, or DSA. This is all about the real-world architecture of writing code that's not just functional, but efficient, scalable, and powerful. Mastering DSA pays off immediately. You start writing code that doesn't just work today, but scales without falling apart under pressure tomorrow. You finally start to see the magic behind your favorite frameworks for what it is, just really clever engineering. And most importantly, you get the ability to solve brand new problems and optimize your solutions. And that right there, the ability to optimize, is what truly defines a senior engineer. I love this analogy. Think about packing a suitcase. You can just throw everything in there, right? That's kind of like an unsorted list. Good luck finding your socks. It's gonna be a nightmare. But organizing with packing cubes, that's a hash map. You know exactly where everything is. That's what choosing the right data structure does for your code. It's the difference between an app that feels instant and one that just grinds to a halt. And this right here is the big secret. When you call a simple method like .sort, you're not casting some magic spell. You're actually using a masterpiece of computer science, an incredibly clever algorithm. And knowing that gives you so much power. The power to debug, the power to optimize, and the power to avoid a mistake that could crash an entire server. Okay, let's move on to the second pillar. This is the one that gets overlooked all the time, especially by self-taught devs. But honestly, it's the secret ingredient that makes everything else work. It's the logic behind the code. So if data structures and algorithms are the what, then what's the why? What's the language, the logic that lets us even build and analyze these things in the first place? The answer is discrete mathematics. And hey, don't let the names scare you off. This isn't some abstract theoretical math. No way. This is the practical math of countable things like users in a database, pixels on a screen, or nodes in a network. It is, quite literally, the language our digital world speaks. And the wildest part? You already use it every single day, you just might not realize it. You know your if-else statements? That's just formal logic. Writing database queries? That's set theory. Building a social network? That's graph theory. Even big O notation, the way we talk about performance, it comes directly from discrete math. See? You're already doing it. And this isn't just about becoming a better web developer today. When you start looking at the really cool stuff, the advanced fields like AI and machine learning, what do you find? It's not magic. It is pure applied mathematics. So mastering these fundamentals now is how you get yourself ready for whatever technology comes tomorrow. All right, we have covered the why. So now let's talk about the how. Because understanding the theory is one thing, but actually putting it into practice, that's what really matters. So here's a simple, actionable plan you can use to get started, like today. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful two-step process. First, document everything. Start a learning diary. Don't just passively watch videos. Write down what you're struggling with. Write down your aha moments. It forces your brain to actually process it. Second, teach it. After you build something with a new concept, try to explain it to a friend. Trust me, you will find the gaps in your own knowledge so fast. It's the absolute best way to make it stick. So by following this path, you're not just learning a new topic, you are fundamentally changing your own future. You're deciding what kind of engineer you really want to become. The destination here is all about growth. And as you start out, please keep this quote from Ryan Dahl, the guy who created Node.js, in mind. The goal is not to know everything. That's impossible and it's a trap. The real goal is to always be pushing yourself to understand the system on a deeper and deeper level. Because this is what it's all about. This journey isn't just about learning algorithms for an interview. It's about becoming a more complete engineer, someone who can step up, solve the really hard problems, innovate, and lead a team with genuine confidence. And honestly, this entire philosophy, this is why we created Skill Wanderer in the first place. We know the struggle of hitting that glass ceiling because we've been there. Our whole platform is being built on this exact roadmap for learners by learners who are ready to take that next big step. So, I'll leave you with this question. What's the one fundamental concept you're trying to wrap your head around this week? What was your latest aha moment? Drop it in the comments. Share your journey. Let's start the conversation and keep learning and growing together.